We're here with Guy Durkin. Guy, you want to say hi?
Hey, how are you?
And he is going to take me for a ride in his Byers SR-100. I've known about this Byers for about 10 years. Rick and I did. And we met you actually, I met you first and introduced you to Rick. And we took this first to the Barrington Concord Elegance.
Correct.
Barrington, was it Barrington or Arlington Heights?
Racetrack.
Yeah, but was it the Barrington one or was it called?
Barrington one.
Okay, so Arlington Park Racetrack on a rainy day. And then its big debut was at Amelia Island in 2010.
Right.
And then
Award-winning.
You did win an award. And we took it also to the Milwaukee Masterpiece Concord Elegance. I don't think we've been to any major shows since then, have we? Since 2011, 12, 13, somewhere there. Tons of legroom here in this car while I'm looking. And which is amazing because most specials, like the first car I bought, the Ladari Conquest, had absolutely no legroom. The pedals were about 6 inches from the edge of the dash here, which is a real problem. I mean, we learn as we go. But this is fantastic. Was it like this, or what did you do here to get the, thank you.
If that makes it easier.
All right.
So I had this car built for my body.
Okay.
So that's why the seats are
Okay, when you say your body, you mean you.
Yeah.
All right, so you're 6 foot.
6'3" and 190 pounds.
Okay.
Skinny in the hips, long in the legs.
Small seats. I won't show you how I'm fitting.
Seats.
But
Always can modify the seats.
yeah, they're just bolts you can pull out. There's plenty of room for any size seat.
So we put in steel clutch and brake pedals.
Okay.
In case the next owner would also be custom fit. And we put pedal extensions, and the accelerator is made out of mild steel, so it's easy to move that forward as well.
Okay, so on my Suburban, I have a button that moves the pedals back and forth automatically, which is kind of useless because I drive the car the whole time.
Right.
But you say pedal extensions, do you mean?
They need to be welded on.
Okay, so extensions, you mean to bring it further down or to bring it further back?
Further
or which
towards
or
the
the
drive.
Okay, so it's not automatic in any way, but you can adjust those, plenty of room and so forth. All right. And of course, there's this interesting thing here. I remember we talked about this is just a quick release, and we put it mostly, but
Cosmetically, it probably should have a shroud here, but it's a quick steer.
okay, quick steer. Tell me about that.
So the traditional ratio on a 1949 Ford is about 4-to-1. And this is a 2-to-1 quick steer. So it takes the ratio for the steering to more what you'd expect in a sports car, which is 2-to-1.
Okay.
2 turns of the wheel to 1 of the steering.
On the stern. Okay.
Because it's easier to get in, we have a quick release on the steering wheel, which is very common
Okay.
to allow me to get in.
All right, and we got a 4-speed here.
Yep.
And I think it's an upgraded, well, while you have the 265 engine, like a 1955 or 56 Chevrolet.
It's a 4-speed Muncie M21.
Okay.
New, very nice, very notchy shifter on this car.
Okay, cool. And plenty of...
And just so while we're talking, we'll make a record of this. Let me show you what these switches are. This is for the radiator fan. To start the car, that's the fuel pump, that's the ignition on for power, and that's a toggle switch to the starter.
Okay.
And then to obviously, that's it.
Got it. Okay. And actually, this is kind of cool. I've seen this where you made this very easily accessible.
Get it
Fine.
the wires at the drop of that panel.
Now, I remember 10 years ago, Rick and I, there was a lot of noise in the cockpit because there's no carpet. All of our cars are, so that's not a surprise. It was a surprise to us, but this is not meant to be carpeted. This is a race car? Did you build it as a race car?
I built it as a race car, and so noise would be irrelevant in that situation.
Right.
We were talking earlier this morning about potentially putting sound material in here depending on what the person wanted to do with the car in the future.
Okay, got it. And this windshield here, I think I know what it is, but why don't you tell our...
First generation Corvette.
Okay, 53 to 55.
Yeah.
And you can tell, I mean, there's the only ones with that little notch. So we talked about doing a notch and stainless steel and take it the rest of the way, which is actually pretty easy with the CNC shops we work with at this point.
I don't know if you can swing round, Jeff, with your camera.
I'm very agile here in this car.
Okay. So the car has the ability to put two types of roll hoops. One that's symmetrical, and that they both drop in these holes. So you remove these, you take the center out, you put the trim ring back and drop the roll hoops in.
Okay.
And then one of them has a front brace for racing purposes, and those come with the cars.
Okay. What's this down here? This little.
So remote chargers for the battery.
Okay. Cool. I just didn't recognize them. So the one of the two types of roll bars you have actually anchors down somewhere where I'm at.
About where Jeff's.
Okay. So if that were in, I wouldn't be in.
No, it's fine. You could be in.
I'm pretty tight right now. I'm not sure I could fit anything else. There's not a lot of. I'm pretty tight.
There are other people that might find it easy to.
Hood pins on the front, hinged. There's a hood. We'll open that up in a sec. Actually, why don't we do that now? John, is that all right? John, can you help here for a second? Just open up the hood. And we'll take a look here. And I can actually film this partly, I think.
Side, John.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. So 1956 265 cubic inch small block Chevy. It's the second year of the small block Chevy history. The first year did not have a boss for an oil cooler. That was the modification made for the 56. Both the 55 and 56 had front engine mounts, which this is the way that this car is mounted. And you can see that at the front with rubber donuts, so it is actually cushioned. It's not a solid mounted motor. We added this large sway bar. The car drives very flat, but the front stub is 1949, Ford, the first year of independent front suspension.
Oh, all right. You get this back in. Something about the steering box. It's a upgraded steering box also that just, you can show it if you want.
So based on the folks that do Mercury and Ford lead sleds, then you can buy various parts from that. It was suggested to me to swap the 49 Ford box, which has a horrendous amount of play from the factory, for a Volvo box, which is what's in this car. And it's a cross-link suspension with an idler arm on the other side of the chassis. I think when everything's adjusted, if I was to go racing with this, I don't think there'd be any play left in it. It's a bit slightly vague for a street car, but it really doesn't matter if you're driving it the way you would normally drive on the street.
Why don't you video me for a second so that you can see me?
Hey, Jeff. So, Jeff, there's a story behind these seats. So, I had these seats made for me, and they're 14-inch. And I just randomly said, send me two. I never thought about the passenger on the other side. So,
an eighth of a ton.
Yeah, Jeff is doing really well to be in there. My daughter had the same complaint, and she's very normal. But it's these seats were made for skinny people.
Right. So this is for snaps or for a tonneau?
Yes, there is a tonneau cover that goes with the car, and it can be used when the roll hoop is in place.
All right. You want to take me for a drive? I don't have a seatbelt. So.
Nope.
No seat, but I am snugly in the car. I've never driven in it. The sound. It's actually not as loud as I thought it would be.
No, it's really not bad.
give it to police.
It's a very comfortable and easy car to drive. Very precise.
Pretty cool. It's my first trip at a Byers.
I'm going in the driveway.
Well, okay, if you want to, or in the shade up where they are, because we can do some other photos. Zip around the cul-de-sac and then I move the garbage can.
Okay. In the shade.
It's just right there, right about where he is. Almost keep going. Okay, right around here. That's just fine. Perfect.
Yep.
Got another question. Oh, cool. Thank you. Another question. The car doesn't have any doors. Now, a lot of people keep asking us, yourself, myself, not about this car only, but about other cars that have no doors. And I can tell them historically that initially the early fiberglass cars in 1951 and 2 and 3 had few, if any, had doors. They were making sure the body was strong. But later on, Glass Power and Wildfire, and Wildfire offered all of them with doors. But Byers and Victress and Meteor and so forth, the doors were an option. What was this one? You had
So
no doors in this one. Did you change it, or was it like?
no, this is the way it came.
Okay.
So
Good. So you kept that, and then what's nice about this is, what's nice about this is you actually have side protection behind those aluminum plates and all.
correct.
So, all right. Well, we got a car coming in. Guy, I very much appreciate the drive. Thank you so much. And I'll need help trying to get out of here without damaging the car in any way. All right.
All right.
Thanks much.
Jeff.
Fair away. All right.